Beginners often make mistakes that keep them from getting the most out of their workouts. Even worse, they end up getting injured and can't train at all. To make your workouts more effective, you should correct these mistakes if you find yourself doing them. Even if you're not a beginner, you can improve your workouts and outcomes if you consider these tips. The first mistake is bad form because of poor joint stabilization. This can occur on almost every exercise and has different aspects. To go more into detail, here are a few examples. First, too quick execution. If you're doing your reps too quickly, it's easier to cheat and much easier to lose muscle tension, and with that, joint stabilization. Especially in the eccentric part of the movement, it's very easy to cheat by just letting yourself fall down and let gravity do its work. Of course, it's not wrong in general to do an exercise with a fast rep speed, but as a beginner, we suggest a slower execution. In this way, you learn to control the movement and get a feeling for the muscles and the involved joints. The second example is poor joint stabilization because of a too hard movement or too much weight. As already mentioned, you have to learn the movement, so you need full control over your muscles and joints. If you're doing too hard exercises or use too much weight, you won't be able to do that. This counts for all exercises such as push-up variations, deadlifts, squats, and also calisthenics skills. If you aren't able to perform a skill with proper form, you have to go a step backwards. You can either do an easier variation or just stick to the basics in supporting exercises until you build enough strength. Now we move on to the next mistake, which is skipping a proper preparation. If you're not used to working out, you should start every workout program with a prep phase. This means that you should avoid too hard exercises, too much training volume, and too much training in general. It's not a good idea to copy a workout program from an advanced athlete or from an experienced person and try to do the same. A good prep phase usually comes with easier exercises and a higher rep range. This is because you have more reps for learning the execution and a lower stress for your muscles, tendons and ligaments, which reduces the risk of injury. The less you are used to working out and the higher the resistance you use, the larger the small microtrauma in your muscles, the longer the time for regeneration, and the lower the improvement rate. This is the reason why we included a prep phase for every level in our workout programs. So if you want to benefit from a well-structured workout and avoid mistakes from the beginning to the end, you should visit calimove.com and check our workout programs. It's also very important to consider specific preparation exercises for certain joints. For example, it's very important to prepare your wrists if you want to start with serious handstand or planche training. Sometimes it even makes sense to include such prep exercises for basic movements. If you got wrist problems from doing normal push-ups on the ground, your wrists were not ready for the pressure at all. In this case, you have to adapt the exercise and include wrist preparation exercises into your training until your wrist is ready to do normal push-ups on the ground again. The last mistake is always training till failure. Believe it or not, you don't have to go all out in every set and every workout to grow and get stronger. It's one of the biggest myths out there when it comes to working out. Of course, this doesn't mean it's wrong to train to failure in general. Training until failure has its place, but as a beginner, you first have to learn the movement and to prepare your joints, ligaments and tendons. If you train until failure in every set, you are much likely to injure yourself because of the lack of preparation and experience in general. You will also sabotage your own progress because you need too much time to recover. A good indicator is muscle soreness. If you're constantly sore for longer than 3 days, you are simply doing too much. In order to grow and get stronger, you have to train constantly and not wait 3 to 4 days to do the next session. Of course you have to challenge yourself, but muscle failure is only one part of that. There are other parameters which are important as well, like the intensity. This is how much resistance you use or how hard the exercise is. In some cases it could make sense to simply use more weight or a harder progression of an exercise instead of training to failure. The other parameter is training volume. This means how many sets and reps per workout you do in total. So instead of training to failure, you could do more sets of an exercise. Please keep in mind that this can vary from sport to sport, but when we talk about building muscle, fitness and strength training, failure can be effective, but it's not necessary, even for an advanced athlete. Long story short, make sure you are not sore for too long, avoid training to failure for most of the time, especially as an absolute beginner, and find the right balance between workout intensity, volume and training to failure. Now it's up to you. Consider all those tips for yourself and save a friend by sharing this video. If you want to avoid any further mistakes and make sure you don't waste your time and risk your health, head over to kellymove.com and check our programs. No matter if you just started or if you already got some experience, we got the right one for you. Every program comes as a step-by-step online course you can follow easily. You get high-quality videos, day-by-day workouts and all important things a good workout program needs. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and activate the notifications. My name is Alex and I'll see you in the next video.